Hi, welcome to this STAIR Tailored. My name is Sarah Powell and I work at the University of Texas at Austin. And today I'm going to show you how we can use algebra tiles to solve two-step equations that have a subtraction operator symbol within the equation. And so we're going to solve these two problems here, 2x minus 5 equals 1 and 4 equals 3x minus 8. Let's go ahead and get started. So I've taken those two problems and I've written them on my sticky note right here. I always want to have the abstract form of the equation written out so that students know what we're actually trying to solve. And I'm going to set this up using these algebra tiles. Algebra tiles are these neat tools here. Here we have rods, and you'll notice one side is green and one side is red. And my rods today are going to represent my variable, or x. And if it's positive x, I can turn it over to be negative x. The units represent our constant. In here I have positive 1, and then we have negative 1. So it's nice that you can just flip them over so that they can represent different types of x's and different types of constants. So we're going to go ahead and get this set up. I have two sets of x. That's a positive x because there is no negative symbol in front of this term. And I'm going to subtract 5. So that means I'm going to use the red side of these counters. Get those set up. Those counters are sometimes a little bit hard to touch and move around. And then on that side of the equal sign, that equals 1. So I can see I have 2x minus 5 equals 1. Now we want to isolate this variable by removing the constant. And we remove the constant by creating 0 pairs. I'm going to bring in 5 positive counters, so to create 5 0 pairs here. But remember, whatever we do to this side of the equal sign, we also have to do to that side of the equal sign. So that means I'm going to bring in 5 positive counters right there. Now I'll create my 0 pairs and remove them from the mat. There's a 0 pair, there's a 0 pair, another 0, another 0, and another 0 pair. And so now I have 2x equals 6. Now I don't want to stop right there. I want to figure out the value for each x. So that means I'm going to divide each of these x's. I'm going to divide them into 2 groups, which means I do this. That means I do the same for my constant. So I take the constant and place them into 2 equal groups. So here I can see each x equals 3. So x equals 3. Now for my next problem, I'm going to set this up as 4. So I'll go ahead and get my positive 4 there, equals 3x, and I'll use the green side of my x manipulative there, and then minus 8. That means I'm going to show 8 units, and I'm going to use the red side there. So we have 4 equals 3x minus 8. Now I want to create 0 pairs to remove this constant, and that would help me isolate this variable. So I do that. I have 8 negative, so that means I'm going to bring in 8 positive over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But whatever I do to that side of the equal sign, guess what? We got to do to this side of the equal sign. So I will bring in 8 positive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to this side of the equal sign. Now I'm going to remove the 0 pairs, so you can show like, oh, a positive and negative, those equal 0. I can match each of them up and remove them from the mat. And so now we have 12 equals 3x. Now I want to figure out the value of each x, so I'm going to take each of these x's and I'll put them in their own group, which means I'm also going to do the same thing to my constant. So I have 1, 2, 3 different groups, 1, 2, 3 different groups, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So each x has a value of 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's positive 4 because this is the tan or brown side of the units there. So that was an example of using our algebra tiles to solve different types of algebraic equations. We could also do this with the algebra blocks. We also have some STAIR tailored videos where you can see us do this with just cups and counters. So I hope you'll tune in to some of those other sessions.